It's in your clothes, your car, even your toothbrush. It's a material that's so common we barely even notice it, but it's like this invisible thread holding our modern world together. So today, let's dive into the incredible story of nylon.
All right, let's start with a little riddle. What do silky stockings, a life-saving parachute, and the bristles on your toothbrush all have in common? On the surface, not a whole lot. You've got fashion, survival, and everyday hygiene. They seem like completely different worlds, right?
Well, it turns out the answer connecting all three is a single, totally game-changing invention. And that's the star of our explainer today. So where did this so-called miracle material even come from? To figure that out, we've got to rewind the clock to the early 20th century, a time of just massive industrial and chemical innovation.
See, back then, silk was the absolute gold standard for any kind of fine textile. But here's the thing. It was also super expensive, really delicate, and mostly imported. That made it a luxury that very few people could actually afford. So industry and consumers were getting desperate for an alternative, something strong, reliable, and that could be mass-produced. The stage was totally set for a scientific breakthrough.
And that breakthrough? It came in the 1930s at DuPont. A research team, led by a guy named Wallace Carruthers, created the world's first truly synthetic fiber. And when nylon stockings hit the market in 1939, it caused an absolute frenzy. Women literally lined up for blocks just to get their hands on a pair. This wasn't just some new product. It was the dawn of affordable, durable fashion for everyone. Then, things got serious. During World War II, nylon basically became a strategic asset. Production shifted entirely to the war effort, replacing silk in things like parachutes, ropes, and tents. It proved its incredible strength under the most extreme conditions you can imagine.
So what is it that makes nylon so incredibly tough? How could the same material be strong enough for a military parachute, yet delicate enough for stockings? To answer that, we need to zoom in and look at the science behind this superfiber.
Okay, so at its core, nylon's strength really just comes down to its chemistry. It's what's called a polyamide. Now, that word might sound complicated, but it just means it's a really long chain of molecules, a polymer, and all those molecules are held together by these incredibly strong links called amide bonds. These bonds are the secret sauce. They're what gives nylon that legendary combination of strength, flexibility, and durability.
So how's it actually made? Well, scientists start with some basic chemicals that they get from petroleum. Then, through a process called polymerization, they chemically link all those little molecules into those long, powerful polyamide chains we just talked about. Finally, they take this new polymer, melt it down, and force it through tiny little holes. Think of a microscopic pasta maker. And that's how they create the continuous, super strong fibers that we know as nylon.
This amazing manufacturing process just unlocked a whole world of possibilities. And that leads us to the next phase of our story, nylon's complete and total takeover of the material world. It really did become the everywhere material.
This quote just nails it. Think about it. The reason your luggage can get tossed around by baggage handlers and not just ripped to shreds, that's probably thanks to tear-resistant nylon fabric. It really is the behind-the-scenes hero, making modern life way more durable in ways we don't even think about.
Just take a look in your own closet. Nylon's unique combo of being strong, lightweight, and quick-drying makes it perfect for basically everything. From athletic wear to rugged outdoor gear, it's everywhere. It's the reason your workout clothes can stretch without tearing and your backpack can actually handle a heavy load.
But it's so much more than just fabric. Not by a long shot. Under the hood of your car, there are nylon parts withstanding intense heat and vibration, helping your engine run smoothly. And back in your home, it's in the gears of your blender, the electrical connectors in your walls, and yep, even the bristles of your toothbrush. So why do engineers love this stuff so much? Well, because in a lot of cases, it actually outperforms metal. Just look at this comparison. It's lightweight, which helps make cars more fuel efficient. It runs quieter. It's corrosion resistant, so it's never going to rust. And because it has such low friction, a lot of the time it doesn't even need lubrication. That is a massive advantage in engineering.
But there's a flip side to this incredible success story. For all its amazing benefits, the production and disposal of traditional nylon come with a pretty significant environmental cost.
So what are the main problems here? First, as this chart shows, it's made from petroleum, which is a non-renewable fossil fuel. What happens when we run out? Second, making it requires a huge amount of energy. And third, it's not biodegradable. That means every single piece of nylon ever made, unless it's been burned or recycled, is still out there somewhere on the planet.
And if that wasn't enough, some processes for making nylon release nitrous oxide. That's a greenhouse gas that is, get this, roughly 300 times more potent than carbon dioxide when it comes to warming our planet. 300 times. That's a staggering figure.
But this isn't the end of the road for nylon. Faced with all these challenges, scientists and innovators are now focused on a new mission: reinventing this classic material for the 21st century.
The idea isn't to just get rid of nylon. Honestly, it's far too useful for that. Instead, the real goal is to create a circular system, an economy where nylon is made, used, and then fully reused over and over and over again, instead of just being thrown away.
And there are two main ways to get there. The first is mechanical recycling. That's where you take physical waste, like old fishing nets and carpets, and you shred it, melt it, and respin it into new fibers. The other path is chemical recycling, which is a bit more advanced. It actually breaks the plastic all the way back down to its original molecules. Then you can use those to create brand new nylon that is chemically identical to the original stuff.
And looking ahead, the future gets even greener. We're starting to see the rise of bio-based nylons made from renewable sources like castor oil, which would dramatically reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. At the same time, manufacturers are developing cleaner production methods, and designers are starting to create products that are specifically meant to be reused and recycled easily. This, right here, is the path forward.
So, we end with this question. Nylon was, without a doubt, a material that defined the 20th century. It was a symbol of progress, of convenience. The challenge we face now is to see if we can reinvent this incredible polymer to help build a cleaner, more sustainable future. The next chapter in his story isn't just being written by scientists. It's also being written by us, by the choices we make and what we demand from the products we use every day.